Alex, who's just returned from the Middle East, Israel and Palestine. He actually had the most important or the most memorable part of his sojourn is what he calls his Armenian moment.
That's
Alex.
I've never called it that. I've called it my Armenian story, but whatever. So, for those of you who do not know, Armenians have lived in the Holy Land for many, 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 many years.
And he's an Armenian. He's Armenian.
Did you know that? I'm Armenian.
They didn't know that. They didn't know.
I made sure everyone on my trip absolutely knew I was Armenian without it shredded out.
That's the first thing you tell anyone when you meet them.
Did you know I'm Armenian? Anyway, the Jerusalem is divided into four quarters. The old city, Jerusalem. There's the Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, the Jewish quarter, and the Armenian quarter.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they have a whole quarter.
There's an Armenian quarter?
An Armenian quarter. Now, basically what you can see is one big street. That's basically it. The rest is all residential private areas. Now, our guide, very nice guy, his name was Nadav, he said that we're going to go through the old city, we're going to pass by the Armenian quarter, and Alex, I want you to give a presentation on your family and what does Armenia mean to you? And I go, okay, great. So we go to the Armenian quarter, and we see a parade, a huge parade with big kettle drums and flags and everything. I mean, the works, the priest, everything. We're all like, what is going on?
Yeah.
This is on the 18th of January. Another side note, do you know when Armenians celebrate Christmas?
January 6th, right?
That's correct. Right. The 6th of January.
Well, it's the Feast of the Epiphany in the Western Church.
Right.
Yeah.
But Armenians in Jerusalem celebrate Christmas on the 18th and 19th.
I didn't know that. I did not know.
I didn't know it either, and I'm Armenian. I didn't know that.
Why did they celebrate it on the 18th? What's it
has something to do? I've done minimal amount of research. It has something to do with multiple calendars working together.
It's a calendar thing. It's a calendar thing. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't realize we had stumbled upon Armenian, them celebrating Armenian Christmas. But forget the presentation, anything. We got to walk with the parade on the sidewalk, and we're beating the drums. Everyone was losing their mind. It was incredible. Incredible.
You were in heaven, right?
I was in Armenian heaven. And then that same day, we also went over to Palestine and went to the Church of Nativity, right, where they were holding an Armenian service for Christmas. And that they had the Armenian patriarch, who's like the grand overseer of the whole Armenian church, was there. I didn't recognize her or anything. He's super corrupt, and I didn't really care to know him, but he was there, and it was wow. And again, Church of Nativity in Bethlehem.
Right. You know, that was a question on Jeopardy, and Jeopardy, they accepted the wrong answer. They were asked the question, where is the Church of the Nativity? And the one contestant said Jerusalem, and they said one contestant said Palestine, one said Jerusalem, and they sided with the one who said Jerusalem. And 3 days later, they had to retract it.
Yeah, you better believe they had to. That's funny. Yeah. Anyway, so that's not the end of my story. It only gets better.
Tell.
Yeah. So we, the group was going on this, and I talked to some of the leadership and said, hey, it'd be really cool if I could go to the Armenian church, St. James in Jerusalem, and see the Christmas service. And they understood it was a big deal to me. So they, during the middle of one, we were at some place, and they let me go early. Very nice. So I walk all the way over to the old city. I get over to the big doors that lead to the St. James Church. Talk to the person there, and he says, "No, sorry, it's Christmas. We're closed." I was really crestfallen. I was really, and it was the last day we were there. So they said come in the morning, but I'm like, I'm going to be flying out. So I walked back, and luckily one store was open. I thought they'd all be closed on account of it being Christmas. So I go there, and I'm looking for something to buy for my family or whatever. Right. And I'm talking with the shopkeeper. He's been there 38 years. Born there, he loves it. And I mentioned I'm Armenian.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that I didn't get to go inside the church, and he goes, well, did you go to the club? You know, the club? Well, yeah, the club. And now I knew there was a convent, but he called it a club. So, okay. Yeah, yeah. So he goes, you should go there. You'll meet young Armenian lady there. Go, go, go. You should go there and tell them you're Armenian. So I go there.
Yeah, yeah.
I talk to the guy. You know, there's like three old Armenian guys.
Right.
And I say, I'd like to, you know, I'd like to go into the club. I'm actually I was just talking with that guy over there, and he said to mention I'm Armenian. Like, oh, you're Armenian. Oh, look at that. Why didn't you say anything? Da, 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 da. Next thing you know, I'm talking to this guy. He's telling me his life story. Yeah. He was born in Jerusalem, went to Boston for a little bit, started a clothing business, and it didn't do so well. Yeah. So then he decided to do, so he was told that you should move somewhere else where there's no clothing store, so you'll have business. So he moved to Arkansas.
Oh, God. Nobody wears clothes in Arkansas.
I know. Well, he apparently met President Bill Clinton while in Arkansas. There's a town of 18,000 people.
Where did he meet Clinton? At a whorehouse?
I don't know. Look, he talked to...
There were no clothes in the whorehouse either. Nobody wears clothes in the whorehouse.
The guy's business did really, really well. His wife divorced him, and he talked for like 30 minutes about his divorce and how terrible it was and how he didn't agree with it, he didn't want it, blah, 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 blah.
Right, so
anyway, so he moved from Arkansas to Jerusalem after the divorce. So he had a...
You get into the club? Did you get into the club?
Yeah, then he sent me, well, he sent me on my way. He said, yeah, if anyone has any issue with you, just tell them you're Armenian and Robert sent you. He gave me his name, too.
Yeah.
So if you ever go to the Armenian Quarter, you can step in and see like a few things, but there's these big signs that say no entry, private entrance only. I walked right past them.
Good for you.
And I turned around the corner, and there was this massive tree. It might have been like over 30 feet tall, this huge courtyard. It was empty. Nobody walking around. I mean, they're probably at home, you know, celebrating Christmas.
Right.
And I got to wander around the Armenian Quarter. Now, keep in mind, there are some people who go to Jerusalem all the time, who practically live there and never set foot where I got to go. Yeah. They'd never seen it. I found an abandoned church. I found lots of churches in use. I found all these different catacombs and different like twists and turns, and it was incredible.
Wow.
I found a convent, and I did find the club. There was a DJ, lights, you know, were flashing. Nobody was there. Nobody was there.
There were no Armenian girls there?
Well, there was one girl, but she was like in her 60s.
That's not a girl, all right?
I know. She was just sitting there, you know, like she was just sitting there very happy. There's like the DJ and her. Those are the only people at the concert.
She was on opioids.
I don't know. I guess I mean, the reasonable explanation is I showed up earlier than it was. But I mean, I explored. I took a little rock from it.
So you
had
danced
a great time.
You danced all by yourself, didn't you, at the club?
No, trust me. I mean, I was actually terrified because it's like walking around the suburb. You don't know, like, if someone will get mad for you, right, if, you know, you're on their lawn or whatever. Because you kind of are, in a sense, on their lawn. You're a total stranger. They're not used to strangers. They're very private. So but I did, you know, I got to see a lot of, you know, buildings and things that most people will never get to see.
That was your Armenian adventure?
It was, yes. That was my Armenian adventure.
Folks, Alex has saved the best for the last, as you does that. But this completes our series on Alex in the Middle East. And I want to tell you something. I met so many people while you were gone, friends of yours, by the way, and they said, you know, Alex is really doing well and I'm saying, why do you say that? He said, well, he's flying off to Israel. He's talking to the Palestinians. He's going to the Armenian club. He's doing all this type of stuff. And I said, well, you know, Alex, he's got the world by a string.
That's a polite way of putting it, I guess.
Now, get back to studying and get an A on that exam for your crazy data processing professor. Pastor.
Yeah.
All
You would
right.
know them. You would know them.
Anyway,
You would.
folks, thanks a lot for staying with us in the series. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to like, share, and perhaps even sponsor us. We really appreciate it. We have over 8,700 downloads on our podcast. We have 213 episodes, and now we have a whole bunch more. So thanks,
Thanks.
Alex.
Guys.
Thanks a lot, pal.